Hey everyone, in this video I just want to go over a trade that I called out in our Discord today, Friday, February 9th, 2024. Um, just going right into it, every day in our Discord I post a pre-market plan or a daily game plan, as I like to call it, that goes over high impact economic events so that you know what to watch out for and at what time they're happening and what kind of effect they might have on your trades or on the market for that day. I look at the daily time frame to give an overall view of what's going on in the daily. And then I also mark out areas of interest and what I'd like to do if the price action gets into an area of interest. So today, from top to bottom, I just started out by describing the high impact economic events. There are actually nothing on the actual economic calendar for today. But one thing that did happen was the December core CPI, which is a very important economic data report that's been impacting the Federal Reserve's decisions on what to do with interest rates. The December number was adjusted down by 0.03% this morning around 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. That actually caused a pretty strong bullish reaction in the pre-market. By the time I posted the pre-market plan right at 6:30 this morning, the gain had effectively been erased right at the open. So big spike due to some bullish adjustments to inflation numbers, and it went all the way back to where it started right before we opened. The daily time frame, the daily chart continues to be in a strong bullish uptrend dating back to the end of December. However, volume on the last 3 bullish days has been a little bit on the lower side, pointing to a possible reversal to the downside. And then areas of interest. The hourly chart also is in an uptrend. The daily plus the hourly being in alignment means that the best bet today is on the long side. Area of interest that I'd like to look at is the 50-12-25 to 50-20 price range. I'll be looking for long opportunities in this area to try to get in line with an overall uptrend on the hourly and daily timeframes. So overall, multiple time frame alignment is very important if you want to get the most bang for your buck in a trade. You want to be on the same side as many other people as possible, as other traders, as the big banks, as the hedge funds, who have you. The more people you have on your side, the more likely your trade is going to work out and work out for a longer amount of time. Um, Also here in the daily game plan, I post a picture of my hourly chart so you can see the zones marked out with the overnight supply. This was created during the adjustment to the December core CPI number that I was talking about. And then this down here, the 15-25 to 50-20 zone is the support area where I'd like to get long in. This was posted right before the market opened, right exactly when the market opened. So right when the market opened, we're already in that area. If we look at the charts, the daily time frame, again, looking back to end of October of 2023, so just a few months ago. Since then, we've been moving in a very strong uptrend. Really strong bounces, really powerful move. So the daily is definitely in an uptrend. And then if we look at the hourly chart, get rid of these drawings, you can see here that we've been moving up since, let's see, January 31st. So a little over a week, just higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Just continues to move up. So we have the daily in an uptrend, we have the hourly in an uptrend. So that's where I got my idea of trying to get long to match up my trade position with the higher time frame trends, the daily and the hourly. In the alert section is where I start to post the live ideas and live entries for people to follow. so you can get on a trade with me. So at 6:34, I'm watching for a break of this 1 minute downtrend to signal that price is turning back to the upside and realigning with the daily and hourly uptrends. I'll be playing a breakout with a stop below the low of day. Okay, and here I just posted a little picture. This is about 6:32, 6:33. This is what I'm looking at. So on the 1 minute chart, I'm looking at this downtrend line to be broken. I want to see it get broken, possibly a little pullback, and then targeting this area up here, which is a 50.35 um, overnight supply that was created on the retracement from the core CPI adjustment news. Shortly after I posted this idea, I post my actual entry, what I'm actually going to do. So I was going to enter long with a buy stop at 50.24.25, the profit target of 50.35, and a stop loss of 50.15.50. I saw price develop a little bit more, so I was going to get a little bit more aggressive with my entry, so get in earlier on the trade. The entry was going to be 50.22.25. And then just about 2 minutes after I posted that the entry was going to be a little bit more aggressive, I'm in. I let everybody know this is an aggressive entry. It's okay to wait for price to break above 50.24 and wait for a more conservative signal. And then I wrote that I'm in with two contracts. I'll be taking one off at VWAP, which is about 50.25. So if we look back at the charts and actually look at how this day played out, we're looking at today. I'm typically looking at a 1 minute chart, and here's where we find the entry. So at 6:34 is where I got into this trade. So I saw this bigger trend line hadn't quite been broken, but I saw a really aggressive move down right before the open, right in here. And I figured since the daily isn't an uptrend, the hourly is an uptrend, I want to get in early since I'm going to be on the same side as the higher time frame uptrends. I felt that it was okay to get a little bit more aggressive with my risk on this trade or with my entry on this trade. So I decided that I was going to take a breakout above 50.22.25, which is about right here. And I'll just mark that with my long position tool, 50.22.25. That happens about right here. My stop loss was going to be below low of day, about 3 ticks below the low of day. And my profit target was up here at 50.35, which again is the supply zone that was created in the pre-market session about an hour before the market opened. So my trade enters, it triggers right here. What I did here was I took two contracts. So my idea was if this moves quickly in my favor, I want to scale out of a contract and get to risk neutral. So my target was 50.25, which was right around where VWAP is, which is this white line. And it took a little while to get there. 6:34 was when I entered. It took about 25 minutes to get to that first profit target. But as soon as we got to my first profit target, I let everybody know, going back to the Discord channel, I'll be taking one off at VWAP. PT1 hit, I'm down to one contract. And I move my stop to 50.1950 to get to risk neutral. So once I'm out of one of contracts, I still have one contract left. So I move my stop loss to the same distance down that I took my profit. So I took profit on one contract at 2.75 points. I moved my stop loss on the second contract to 2.75 points below my entry. So I made 2.75 points on one contract. If I end up losing 2.75 points on that second contract, then I'm out of the trade with no loss. The only loss I would have on that trade is from any commissions or fees that I paid to enter and exit for those two contracts. So effectively, it's a wash. It's a break-even trade if I lose at that point. So what happens is one contract off, I have one contract left, and this trade just continues to run in my favor. So we go from VWAP, we make a strong breakthrough, and then we base for a while. My stop loss is still down here. Eventually, what I end up doing is I give a little bit of a breakdown, a little bit of the insight into why I got into the trade. Daily is in a clear uptrend. Hourly is in a clear uptrend. 1 minute has a downtrend line that has been broken. So this is shared in the Discord. I share all of my trade ideas, and I narrate or I break down my trades as I'm in them, so that members that are new or learning or just want to see exactly what I'm thinking if they follow me on any of my trades, they know exactly what's going on. So the screenshots above show the thought process behind taking an aggressive long entry. The daily and the hourly are both clearly trending up. Once the 1 minute downtrend is broken, we have trend alignment on multiple time frames. Trades with multiple time frame alignment tend to give you the best bang for your buck. You always want to be on the same side with as many people as possible if you want your trade to have legs. Okay, and then in here, I start to trail my stop. So one thing that I'm seeing in this price action is we do break above VWAP. We have some trouble getting too far extended from VWAP. There's some resistance that comes into play right in this area. That's right in here in this area. Okay. So if this is going to be a strong resistance, it's entirely possible it can come back down and stop me out. Okay. At this point, my trade has gone up 7.5 points. I don't really want to give back all of that profit. I do want to stay patient, give give the trade room to breathe, but I don't want to, after being up so much in profit, I don't want to end up just washing it or breaking even on this trade. So in the Discord, I let everybody know that my stop loss has moved to 50, 23, 50. And then a couple minutes later, actually just a few seconds later, my stop was moved to 50.28. And the reason for that is, uh, let's see, at 736, we end up breaking out of this consolidation right in here. This little consolidation right in here, we end up breaking out. So if I'm catching an uptrending move, we should be making higher highs and higher lows. Consolidations give you a nice structure to formulate your trade or to trail your stop. So as we break out of this area, I end up trailing my stop to about 50.28. So about right here in this little area, right where the consolidation is. It's a pretty aggressive or pretty conservative stop loss. I'm not giving my trade much room to breathe beyond this point because from here, I'm up 5 points on the second contract, which means I'll be better than a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And then I'm just going to continue to trail that stop up. So about 50.28, then I move my stop at 738 to 50.29.50, which is about right here, 50.29.50. And then the trade comes back down and eventually stops me out. I end up doing about 7.25 points on the second contract. And on the first contract, 2.75 points. So I took this trade for a total of 10 points or 40 ticks on the S&P 500 futures. Every point on one contract is $50. That's a $500 winner in the span of about an hour and 20 minutes. It was a pretty slow moving day, but I was happy that I got into a trade here with very little drawdown. very clear higher highs and higher lows where I could trail my stop. The one thing I'm a little bit disappointed in is I didn't hold my second contract all the way to my target. And if you look here, it goes well into my target with a little rejection and eventually just ends up going and going and going all day long. So had I held this trade, let's say I held this trade all the way to the close of the day, so about 1 p.m. Pacific time, where I would be looking at, let's see here, if I held it all the way to the close of the last bar, I would have done 21 points instead of 7 points on that second contract, which is a pretty big difference. So that's something I definitely need to work on is trailing my stops maybe a little bit more conservatively, giving it a little bit more room to breathe. Still very happy with the trade. I did a little bit better than a 2-to-1 risk to reward on this trade. Again, about 10 points of profit, 40 ticks. So it's about $500 per contract that you took. So not a bad trade at all, and very, very low stress, a pretty stress-free trade after the first 10 minutes of it. If you guys want to see more trades, if you're not a member of our Discord, you can look in the link below to join. Just go to simplejacktrades.com and there's instructions on how to join the Discord. And you can also follow us on Instagram at simplejacktrades. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Please like and subscribe.